Chapter. Yeah.
Hey guys, so today I'm going to be doing my first back to school video. And I already know that some of you are already groaning and you're wondering why this video is up literally, what day is it today? July 12th, when most of you don't go back to school until late August, early September. But I do know some of you actually do go back in like a week, which is crazy. So I decided to film this video for you guys to help the ones that are going early, and if you want to come back to this video when you're going back to school, you can totally do that. But today I'm going to be doing my freshman advice video, and if for some reason you are not a soon-to-be freshman who is watching this, and you're perhaps going into middle school and you're a 6th grader, I have a 6th grade advice video from a while ago. The lighting sucked and everything, but my advice was pretty good, so hopefully you can ignore how bad my lighting was. So if you want to go see that, it will be up here somewhere and you can go watch that.
But if you're not a freshman and you still want to watch this, I mean, I'm not stopping you.
So you guys are going into high school. And it may seem scary. Your friend Kimberly has some tips for you guys on how to hopefully survive your freshman year. Let's get started. So the first advice I'm going to give you is for orientation, and I don't believe any of you have gone back to school yet, but if you've already gone back to school and orientation has already happened, you can skip to whatever time mark is on the screen right now. But if you haven't gone to orientation yet, or your orientation hasn't happened yet, here's some advice. I have all my advice on my phone, so there's going to be a lot of jump cuts because I'm going to have to keep like referring back to my notes. A week before school, most schools have an orientation, and this is where you get to go see where your classes are, most likely see your teachers, because sometimes teachers are on like summer vacation or they're like sick, and you can see who's in your classes and you know where your homeroom is, and it's just a head start for incoming freshmen and people who are new to the school. So because you guys do get a head start into the school year, please pay attention at orientation. It will let you know, kind of have an idea where your classes are. So on the first day of school, you may be still a little lost, but you'll have a general idea of where your classes are. If you're able to go to the orientation, I highly recommend it. It helps a lot. On to the actual first day of school. The first day of school is not scary. I can say that because I was just a freshman. The first day of school isn't scary. If you go into it thinking it's scary, you are going to be petrified. So go in with a cool attitude. And remember, you went to orientation, and if you didn't, or you like just forgot your classes, everyone does. It's okay, you could always ask teachers or upperclassmen. Don't be scared. Upperclassmen aren't gonna bite your heads off, at least most of them. You know you're gonna meet some of those rude upperclassmen, but the majority of upperclassmen aren't mean, and if you ask them, hey, where's so-and-so, they will most likely have an idea of where to direct you onto where it is. And I know most high schools have quite a few levels to them. Just remember that you're going to be having to probably go from floor to floor to floor, go into different classes. So don't spend too much time in the hallway. Speaking of which, this just isn't for like the first day. This is for like your entire school career. Don't stand in the hallways, not moving, blocking the hallways, causing traffic, because people like that are the type of people that make me want to push them out of the way because they're moving too slow or they're not moving at all. The hallways get crowded and people are trying to get to their classes, so don't just stand in the hallway and not move. Like if you're gonna talk to your friends, move to the side. It's not that hard. Also, life hack, if you have a cell phone, you can take a picture of your schedule and set the picture of your schedule as your lock screen wallpaper. That way, if you forgot what class you're supposed to go to next, you can quickly just whip out your phone if your school allows you to, and then you can quickly look at what class you're supposed to go to instead of having to ruffle through a bunch of papers to find your schedule. That isn't really my life hack. I just saw it in a bunch of life hack videos last year, so I'm just like, just in case you didn't see that life hack, I got you. Since you're in high school now, don't be too surprised if your teachers just on the first day just jump right into classwork or giving you homework, because I remember on the first day of school I was so surprised because so many of my teachers were giving me like legitimate homework, and I was like, but I just got here. Why are you giving me all this homework? Don't be surprised if like your teacher just jumps into a lesson randomly after they go over class rules or like talking about themselves, because they probably will, and you're just gonna have to get used to that. In high school, literally it's the first day of school and then the second day of school is as if it's your 5th week of school. Like, just a heads up. Now onto lockers. If you just came from middle school, which I'm assuming you did, I'm assuming you didn't skip 3 grades, you had lockers. And in high school, it depends on the school, but I know majority of high schoolers like don't use their lockers. I personally didn't use my locker because my locker was on the 3rd floor, and the only time I ever had to go to the 3rd floor was for science. It's because of my last name, and my school picks where your lockers are. If your locker is placed in an inconvenient place, I recommend not even trying to get to it, because honestly, you can just carry your backpack around the entire day and it's perfectly fine. And if it gets to the point where like you have to keep something in your locker, like you don't want to carry it around the entire day, just like ask the teacher, especially if it's like a teacher that like coaches, because then they'll understand. Ask them if you can like keep like something in their room, and then you'll get it later, and most of the time they'll let you. So, but if you do need to use your locker, you're just the type of person that always uses their locker, if your school allows you to choose where your locker is, try and place your locker near a staircase, not like directly next to the staircase, but maybe be like 10 lockers away from the staircase, because that way, since you're going up and down stairs practically the entire day, you can quickly just get off the staircase, go to your locker, get whatever you need, and then go to class. And if you can't place where it is and it's just placed in an inconvenient place, don't even bother using it. You don't need to use it. Now we're going to talk about other people and yourself. So the first thing I'm gonna give you as an advice is people are going to change gradually or immediately as soon as they get to high school. The change can be good or bad. It really depends on the person that changes. Everyone changes, everyone goes through changes. I am not the same person I was in the 8th grade. It's a good change. Obviously, some people will change in a way that isn't good, and if they're changing in a way that you don't feel comfortable with, if you're close enough, you can tell them the change you think, and if they're really your friend, they'll acknowledge it and take what you said to heart. But if they're changing in a way that makes you uncomfortable and like you know that's gonna get you into trouble, I'd recommend kind of avoiding that person, because you don't want to get in trouble for something they did. You feel? Second thing is, some of the most innocent people you've known are gonna become not so innocent, and I will let you interpret that in whatever way you think. Along with that, again, some of the nicest people you've known, the people that always cared for you, the people that always asked you if you were okay, the people that like genuinely cared, sometimes they become really snobby and they begin to think that they're better than everyone else. And it really sucks, but you just have to learn that change is gonna happen whether you like it or not. Again, with like the whole friend situation, the friends that you went into the school year with, you may not be as close to or even friends altogether. It personally happened to me. Some of my closest friends all of a sudden were not as close as we used to be, and I've kind of just accepted that. It's going to happen. It may not be like 50% of your friends are just gonna poof, you're just like not gonna be friends with anymore. A good 1 to 5 of your friends, if you have a lot of friends, will just you'll slowly just start to drift. It's just life. In life, your friends that you used to be really close with will just start to drift away. My last tip for other people and you, drama has a way of finding its way. If drama finds its way into your friend group, my advice is to not even get into the drama. If the drama isn't directly involving you, it's like between 2 of your friends and you're not directly involved, don't pick sides, because then that causes even more drama. And that's why whenever my friends are fighting, I kind of just keep a low profile and wait for it to die down and wait for them to calm down and wait for them to talk things out, because being involved in drama and putting yourself through that if you're not directly involved is no fun. If it does involve you though, don't try and blow it off. Try and resolve the situation as quickly as possible. Don't let things simmer, because the longer you let things simmer, the more heated and aggressive arguments are gonna be. So just like try and get the situation, the problem resolved as soon as possible. Now, onto relationships. I personally did not have a boyfriend in 9th grade, But based on what I saw from my friends that were in relationships, this is the advice that I'm gonna give you. You can take it, you can just ignore it, but don't say I didn't warn you. You can date in 9th grade. I'm not gonna tell you you shouldn't date. I'm not your guardian or parent. I'm not the one that decides. I'm not the one like involved in your life. But my like warning is that 9th grade guys and high school guys in general, good 90% of the time are not that mature. They're really not that mature, and they just don't get the whole dating situation just doesn't click up here for some of them. So that if your boyfriend is like distracting you from school and your grades are like slowly starting to decline and just go in the direction you don't want them to go in, I would say like tell your significant other that you want to like kind of distance yourself for a little bit so you can focus on your schoolwork, because literally the entire point of being at school is to get good grades. Your grades stay with you for until like you graduate college, and you don't even know if the boyfriend you have in 9th grade is going to be your boyfriend senior year / 12th grade. Just have your priorities straight in that sense. And with that, also you're a freshman. And I'm gonna tell you this right now. This varies from different schools. Obviously, I don't go to your school most likely, so I don't know how it is. But when I was a freshman, good majority of the seniors were really hot. They were really cute. Like, I'm not gonna lie, they were pretty cute. But you're a freshman and they're a senior. Majority of them are 17 turning 18. You are literally 14. They're technically adults, you're still a child. Let that sink in real quick. You may think that the senior guy really likes you and he's really sweet and he really cares for you. But in the end, a good majority of seniors literally only want one thing. My golden rule is I only date in my grade or grade above. That's like my rule. That's just how my thought process goes. You may have a different one. You may think I only want to stay with my grade, and that's perfectly fine. But if you're a freshman, I would just say try not to date seniors. Now onto the real reason we go to school. Classwork, homework, and grades. First, try and keep your grades up during freshman year. Freshman year is probably the easiest year of high school in my opinion. First quarter, my grades were atrocious. I mean, I still made honor roll, but like, I was not pleased with my grades at all. And then the rest of the school year, I did pretty well. So that's just that. It's freshman year. You shouldn't be so stressed out. Don't be that freshman that's really stressed out and is always like, oh my god, I have to do homework, blah, blah, blah. You're a freshman. You'll be perfectly fine. And then as for organization, because organization is very important, please stay organized. Nothing is worse than trying to find an assignment last minute and you can't because your folder or your binder is a mess. And then you get so stressed out, and like again, you're a freshman, so you shouldn't be so stressed out. And I get stressed easily, so that whole situation is not good for my health. Going along with that, don't procrastinate. I know it's easier said than done because I procrastinate practically everything. Like, I've gotten so good at procrastinating, especially if you're taking really advanced classes, because procrastinating throws you behind. And then you're staying up late to finish homework. And then it's just not a fun situation to have yourself in. Every time you feel like you need to procrastinate, just come back to this video and let me tell you not to procrastinate. With homework, try and do it the night it's given. If it's like you got it on Monday and it's due Friday, you can do it all in one night, but there's probably a reason why it was due Friday because it's probably a lot of work. Or you can like strategically split up. I'll do question 1 through 10 tonight, and then I'll do 11 through 20 this night, and blah, 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 blah. And then you can get your homework done, and then you can turn it in, and you can get credit for doing it. And also, don't be afraid to ask questions. If you're too scared to ask questions, you know, Google is a thing, Quizlet is a thing. You have many resources. If you can take an AP class, because I know at some schools, freshmen are not allowed to take an AP class. At my school, freshmen are allowed to take one AP class, and that is AP US History. That's what I took. And if you are recommended to take the class and you feel like you can handle it, I highly recommend taking AP. Who knows, you might get a 4 or 5 on the exam, and that could make you get a credit to not have to take that class in college, and that's really cool. I may not have to take US history in college. So that's really cool, and that's because I took AP US freshman year, and then I will have a free period senior year. Try and think for the future, not just for right then and there. And along with that, with like the whole grade situation, don't let any of your friends or anyone tell you that freshman grades do not matter, because they do. All 4 years of high school, your grades are combined together for a cumulative grade that colleges look at, and you don't want to be really sad because you messed up freshman year and now you have to work even harder than everyone else to get your GPA back up to where it should be. Like, again, you don't have to get all A's, but like, try and do really well. And I know you're probably thinking about me talking about college and all of that stuff, and you're like, but I'm a freshman, why am I worrying about college right now? For me, freshman year flew by. In a blink of an eye, I'm gonna be a sophomore in a couple of months. Like, when did this happen? And if freshman year flew by so fast, I'm assuming my last 3 years of high school are gonna fly by so freaking fast. And then next thing I know, I'm graduating. It's just good to think for the future, especially in high school. You can succeed very well in college and maybe get some scholarships, because college in America is very expensive. So, and going with the whole college thing, join clubs and do sports, because they look really good on college resumes, because it's like, hey, this kid didn't just spend their entire time studying. They were able to keep their grades up and do like clubs and do sports, and they were still able to have good grades. And colleges really look at someone who's like really well-rounded. So even if you don't see yourself as an athlete, try out. Who knows, you may actually make the team and you may actually really like the sport, and then you can do that for the rest of high school. Now onto your attitude, because your attitude is just as important in high school. Try to be nice to everyone, and I mean everyone. Some people will be rude, they're just that way. But try and like not revert to being as rude as them. And also, like, don't be so nice to the point where like people will walk over you and they feel that they can take advantage of you, because that's also not a good thing to put yourself in. And since you're going to be the newbies at the school, you're going to be known as the little freshies. And I'm gonna tell you this right now. First off, majority of us don't like you. And we could care less about you guys. Don't bring negative attention to yourselves because you guys are already not liked by the majority of the school. I'm not saying anyone's gonna throw you in trash cans, because that only happens in movies, and high school is not like the movies. Let me repeat this. High school is not like the movies. Don't try and get swept up in like popularity, because yes, there are obviously gonna be popular kids at the school. At my school, the popular kids are the ones that are good at sports and are really smart. They're the well-known kids. They're not popular because
their daddy is rich and owns 15 companies and they live in a mansion.
That's just not the thing. That's like, I mean, at some schools it may be a thing, but at my school it's not. And majority of schools, it's not. Try and be well known for good reasons, not for bad reasons. For instance, just because everyone's doing it doesn't mean you have to do it. Now let's talk about clothing and makeup. So for clothing, I would say try and dress as age appropriate as possible and try and follow your dress code. I will be doing a lookbook, so I'm gonna try and stay within dress code, but my dress code is actually kind of lenient. What I can wear isn't necessarily what you can wear, but I'm gonna try and create a back to school lookbook. Anyway, try and dress appropriate. Shopping at Justice, for instance, is probably not the most age appropriate clothing to wear in high school. In my opinion, that's my opinion. Don't come at me, please, for saying that. That's my opinion. Like, you know, Children's Place or Justice or what other little kid stores. Like, you know, the little kid stores. I wouldn't recommend shopping there for clothes, but I'm not saying you need to start shopping at Urban Outfitters and Topshop, because first off, those stores are really expensive. Like if you want to shop at Topshop all the time, who am I to say you can't, because it's not my money that's being spent, but just try and dress in a way that properly reflects your age.
I think that's what I was trying to get to. I think.
And then for makeup, just make sure it looks flattering on you. You could wear some bold makeup like what I'm wearing right now for this video. You could use some very simple, natural, no makeup look. It just depends on what you feel most comfortable doing and wearing to school. Would I say go on with a full smoky eye? Maybe not. But just do something that's flattering and that you know you would look good in and you would feel good in. I mean, you do you. You don't even have to wear makeup if you don't want to. Now on to social events. Like middle school, you're going to have a lot of social events. So the first one is the most obvious, like football games. In America, football is very big. I'm saying this right now, please go to football games. They can be really fun, and it's just cool to show school spirit and show that you're behind your fellow classmates that are on the team. And you know, even if your school sucks at certain sports, it's still fun to go and support them and like kind of show that you're behind them, because chances are if you really think they suck, they know they suck. And they just need some positive reinforcement. At games, my advice is leave like 5 to 10 minutes before the game ends, because you could probably ask someone who was at the game how the game ended. But like what I know, especially at my school, everyone, since there's a lot of people that go to football games especially, there's a lot of traffic. And when there's a lot of traffic, it's really hard to get out of wherever the game is. And it's no fun. Also, if you're like playing against your rival school, fights will probably break out, and just you don't want to be in that situation. I'm gonna say this because I'm in the instrumental music program. Please go to your band concerts. If your school orchestra / school band is having their concert, please go and support them. As a flute player in my symphonic band, please come and support what we're doing in the music program. We work really hard for so many months to get our music together and to sound good and to be entertaining. And it's a lot more rewarding when people other than just parents and staff members come. And most band concerts have bake sales. So, you know, you can just donate some money to the band, the instrumental music program, and you can get a brownie or cookies or whatever. But just come, please. I'm like even though like the majority of you don't go to my school, like just go support your instrumental band class. And also like school dances like homecoming. That's the only school dance that I have that like people that are like juniors and seniors can go to. Go to homecoming, it's fun. You may think you're too cool, but like no one's too cool to go to sports games, concerts, or homecoming. No one's too cool for it. My last and final words of wisdom for this advice video is enjoy freshman year. It will fly by pretty quickly. Don't stress yourself out too much. Focus on grades as well, and try and be the best you could possibly be, socially, academically, and I guess physically, and you will do perfectly fine. Freshman year isn't scary, and if you go in with the mindset that you are going to rock freshman year, then you probably will. If you guys didn't know, I do K-beauty, regular beauty, fashion, K-pop, and random videos. So if you enjoyed those types of videos, please hit the subscription box down below so you can see more videos from yours truly. And I will see you guys in my next video. So if you're going into freshman year, I wish you good luck, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, lovelies!
저 하늘에 그려져